285 traffic. 81. Silver Lake Road, Mississippi Street, the Ford Escape, no place in town.
All right, backseaters, welcome to Live on Patrol today. You are with Undersheriff Mike Martin, and we are in Maplewood, headed down into the east side of St. Paul. I had to go get some gasoline. You'd think I would be prepared, having been a Boy Scout, but apparently not. So I got my gas up in Maplewood. Got to have a long conversation at the pumps with a friend of mine. I don't want to mention his name just because I didn't ask him if he could. Who's a probation officer at RAMSEY County. We were talking about some of the young individuals that we deal with on a mutual basis, and how we can better serve them and the citizens. So you are, for those of you who are new to our broadcast, you are riding in my Ford F-150 unmarked pickup truck in Ramsey County, Minnesota. We are home to the capital of Minnesota, St. Paul, and we have about 500,000 residents in the county. About half of those are in the city of St. Paul, and the rest are in the suburban areas that we patrol, and some of them have their own suburban police agencies. And we live stream 2 or 3 times a week to educate people on what police do, how we think, how we patrol, and to show that we're just normal people. So despite wanting to show that we're normal people, the sheriff, Bob Fletcher, still selected me to be one of the people who's live. And I think we will be live again on Wednesday afternoon, but I don't know the details. I've had people asking me today, but I'm not aware. So we are on the east side of St. Paul. We're going to be going around Lake Phelan here, and coming back down to Maryland Avenue. And it's a beautiful day. It's about 85, I'm guessing, and a lot of people out and about, walking around the lake, fishing, people golfing on the other side. So it's just a great day in Minnesota. We don't get a lot of days where it's nice to be outside. Obviously done in the winter, but today is one of those unbelievable days. I do have the CAT team is out and about along. I think there's at least 1 or 2 members of the gun team that are out with them, and Director Steve Leiden is out helping them with something. I do not have that channel on because they are working on something specific that I don't want to divulge. But I went to Steve Leiden's office to grab him, and the door was closed and he was on his phone, and I thought, well, and then I went out to get gas, and he's out helping them. So God bless them, and I'll let you know if they start doing something that's not secret, then I will
What time are you doing?
let you know and we'll jump in on it. It was a relatively quiet weekend for violent crime and major issues over here on the Ramsey County side. Minneapolis had a pretty violent week that continued in the weekend, but over here there were a lot of events. There was the
Could you attach PCN number
Yacht Club concert that went really well, and I didn't hear of any issues with that. It was a big concert down on Harriet Island here. It's an island in the Mississippi, and Alanis Morissette and Pat Benatar and the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Soul Asylum and a bunch of other bands played, and it sounds like it went really well. The Black Crows were supposed to play there, but their flights were interrupted because of the computer problems. So anyway, it was
180.
a good weekend, and like I said, things
We're
went
on our
well.
way down with the patient. He wants to meet with medics. He's demanding that there's no mental health thing. He's demanding that.
After occupation on another 1050.
So we are monitoring all three of the main Ramsey County channels, all three of the St. Paul main channels, a couple of statewide channels, a couple of metro-wide channels, and so we will hear if something happens, and then we can determine whether or not we're close enough to be involved. We're westbound on Maryland Avenue right now.
535.
Self-touch, we're around other things we don't know.
Oops.
New message. New message. New message.
So I'm looking at the pending calls here. Not a lot going on. Definitely nothing close. But so I had a fun time out patrolling with Pat Scott, Deputy Pat Scott, on Friday night. I got to fill in for the sheriff and ride with his old partner, Pat Scott. Well, I'm not saying Pat's old, but his former partner from St. Paul, who's now kind of his current partner over here. And even though Pat is really old, just don't tell him that I said that. So we rode around. It was a pretty quiet night. Had a couple things we got to go to, but no chases or anything like that. So not a lot of excitement for you guys. Pat's out and about working. He's with the CAT team on their detail that they're doing right now. Crossing Interstate 35E, going from the east side of St. Paul into the Central District. channels. It's definitely a lot easier to monitor all the channels and do everything when there's two in the car, but the hardest part is monitoring all the different channels and trying not to miss anything and making sure you're listening to the right ones. So if you hear those texts coming through, those are texts on our streams, or I'm sorry, our group texts, where we exchange information about what's going on and some of our known offenders, and that way we're all on the same page, knowing who's in custody, who's wanted, maybe who got off or out of custody. So, who's absconding from their house arrest or their group home that they've been court ordered to, and that way we know that they're wanted. We're south on Rice Street now. Appreciate everyone posting, reminding me to stay safe. I'll tell you what I always say to my wife or others. I'm like, I'll try. I'll see what I can do. But we always stay safe. We do everything we can. And I'm wearing my vest. I'm wearing my seatbelt. I'm driving safely and doing everything I can. So to see a couple backseaters that I ran into at Joe's Sporting Goods in Little Canada over the weekend. It was fun to talk to you. Thanks for stopping and talking to me. It's always nice to get to talk to people and hear their perspective on, what we do and what they've learned or not learned. And what they'd like to know more about. I'm telling you, I gotta keep checking and making sure my radio is working right, because there's no talk going on right now, which is a good thing, I think. There were a couple stolen cars rolling around earlier today, but I believe one of them was apprehended, and they apprehended the car and the people in it. One fled over into Minneapolis, and it was not a one where we would want to pursue it from over here. And then others we're keeping an eye on. westbound on University through the Frogtown neighborhood. And this neighborhood has a high percentage of Hmong and Vietnamese and Laotian people. And so there's some great restaurants through here if you like Thai food or Vietnamese food, Hmong food.
2267, I copy en route. Exactly. Running right to Little Canada. 16.
So we're quite a ways away from that hit and run at Rice and Little Canada. But if we get suspect vehicle information, then we will look for that vehicle. We're approaching the Unidale area here.
Do something.
This is what is this 435 front number 6. I had an assist and now turned into female having a mental health issue and is requesting medics.
Do something, copy. 265. For the traffic pending.
So those two transit squads that are on the side of the
They
road
can smell a gas
there
leak. Power shut all the windows.
the officers from those cars are on the light rail platform here, keeping it safe. Unfortunately, the light rail platforms and the trains have been problematic recently, and so they're out there just to make the customers, the riders, feel safer and hopefully quell any problems.
And is there any flight that can start to 122 Watershed Street South? Switching medic to the 26-year-old male who's being aggressive and intoxicated.
You may have heard the call at 435 front for a female that's having a mental health issue. I'm not going to go up there just because I don't want to live stream someone who's having a bad day and could be embarrassing. But if the officers call for help for some reason, obviously we'll go there because we're not
267 will be on
too
detail.
far away.
1800. We'll check in then.
Some rattling going on. I don't know. I can't figure out where that rattle's coming from. So can't really stop it. So hopefully it's not too bad. We're still west on University. I want to run through at least through the University and Snelling area. That's been a kind of a busy area lately with some drug dealing and drug users and aggressive panhandling. So I should have said, that yacht club festival went really well. Shout out to the St. Paul officers who were on that detail. I was not there, but I heard they did an awesome job. What's going on?
We're stealing stuff models on, trying to track them down.
Well, good luck. Good luck. I'm live right now, so don't talk bad about me because my mom will see it. See ya. Just talking to some St. Paul officers that are out on a call. We're on their way to a call, I should say.
I'll be working until 10 o'clock tonight.
So, had to say hi to them. They said someone stole stuff from the AutoZone, and they're trying to track them down. St. Paul has hired I don't know if hired's the right word, but hired and trained a lot of new officers now. So there are a lot of new young officers working in the city of St. Paul, and it's fun to see the fresh faces and remember back when I was that young. which was a long time ago, as you may guess. But it's great to see young people taking on policing as a profession. Yes, that is a guy on a scooter with a giant German Shepherd on his shoulders, if you saw that go by. But I know Minneapolis is in the process of hiring. They just got a new contract that was approved by the city council, and so they're going to be among the highest, if not the highest paid in the state, and they have great opportunities over there, and obviously we're always hiring, but the more people we can get in the pipeline to become deputies or officers, the better, because we went through a real dry spell after George Floyd, and it seems like now the people are willing again to take on law enforcement, which is really what we need. We need a new generation of officers that want to work hard and obviously have learned from some of the mistakes we've made in law enforcement in the past, and hopefully can change the perception of policing.
2263, take me.
I don't know what those people were doing back there, but I'm gonna drive by and find out. So I'm gonna go around the block here. There was a group of people sitting on the sidewalk. They didn't appear to be doing anything wrong. It's kind of an unusual place to be sitting.
Roger, 6.
He starts at 26 James, Joseph Medics, the man down on the highway.
Affirmative.
So we're now in what's called the West District in St. Paul. It's definitely a busy little area here with people loitering around. I have a feeling we came upon where there's drug sales going on. How you doing? I said, how are you doing? Matt, what are you doing? Good. You're all right? Okay. I just noticed a lot of people hanging here. All right. Well, folks, this is what happens when you get drug sales in an area, and all of a sudden you got people just hanging around. Half of them looking like they don't even know where they are.
Your caller called back saying they have no emergency. 180. Calling in Concordia for APD that occurred on Thursday. Caller was in a bike with a carrier and was struck. She's now waiting at Old National Bank.
New message.
So we're going south now on Snelling. We're going to cross over University here.
You can cancel fire for right now. You drove past that guy earlier.
Customer accounting for St. Paul, one of the misdemeanor domestic assault, history of suicide, threatened to do with it, firearm. Subject to Thomas Andrew J. White male, driving, Mike Mike Kilo, 890, 1999, Honda Accord, white color, information, 213.
So we are just driving by Allianz Field where the Minnesota United soccer team plays. They are an MLS team, and it's a beautiful stadium they have here. They have quite a following. I don't know a lot about soccer, except for I know that the game can end 0-0, which I think is just horrible. You run around for 90 minutes and it's a scoreless tie. I think they should go to a shootout or something. But like I said, I'm not a soccer fan. So I don't know. I have people tell me, no, those are some of the coolest games. And I'm like, yeah, but somebody's got to win. I see someone talking about who's riding with me right now. I have a set of stop sticks in my passenger seat. And what else?
270.
A notebook from a meeting I was at.
We canceled medics. They're wondering if you need fire still to check on the gas order.
We're going to turn here and go on Concordia
Right now, keep them off
Street.
and I'll let you know if we get.
Copy at 1550.
I'm sorry, Concordia Avenue. We're going to go by Concordia University, St. Paul up here. Great school, nice small school. My son graduated from there and played football there, so I spent a little bit of time there. They have a Division II football program.
4492. 2399 Euro Street, North Motor Vehicle.
So you'll see Concordia here on your right. Is the football field. And then I'll turn the corner so you can see the college. It's the only... I gotta think about this before I say it. It's the only Division II football program in the Twin Cities area. There are others at Mankato and Bemidji. So the school's on the left and the football complex is on the right. Football, soccer, etc. And then we're going to turn on Marshall here. We're still on the west side of, not the west side of St. Paul, the West District in St. Paul. I always get confused because the west side is actually south of the river because it's the west side of the Mississippi River.
Let us send those.
Looks like some graduates are getting ready. Here, there's one in her gapping down there on the corner.
Hold it. Hold it.
Central High School now on the right hand side, and I'm gonna head up to University and see if we can't find some police work here to do, because if I'm getting bored, I know you're getting bored.
Go 80, cross off 286. That's my mistake for today.
So I just want to clear up any questions people might have. I am not in the ring to run for president, so it's enough of a mess, and we were joking earlier about, you know, who might be the vice president pick, because obviously Trump picked J.D. Vance, and Kamala hasn't named a vice president yet unless she did it this afternoon. But we were all joking around that each other was going to get picked as the running mate. So, but we're not going to talk about politics here, but what a tangled mess we're in right now when it comes to that. So we're at Lexington and University right now, and we're gonna go eastbound.
Can you do that CVP into our
Definitely looks like a storm's moving in here from the northwest. So I don't know. I didn't really check the weather this morning to see if we're supposed to get some, but get some rain. The rain would be nice because we got so much rain for so long, and then it stopped, and now the grass is getting dry. By the way, if you see the thing that says you have to send 200 stars to comment, that's some kind of automatic Facebook thing, but you don't have to send anything. Just comment. We wouldn't even know what to do with the 200 stars. I don't even know, is it better to have 200 stars or 100 stars? So maybe getting 200 stars is a bad thing.
4471 Avenue, near Hallmark. There's a female sleeping with a child standing in front of her. She's approximately 4 years old, has no shoes on, wearing a purple shirt and black sneakers. Female appears to be in her 30s, wearing a red shirt, holding a sign in front of her.
4450 back.
So the Maplewood officers got a call to a female with a baby or a small child that's soliciting or panhandling outside of a Hallmark store in Maplewood. We get those calls a lot. Those are difficult calls because, quite frankly, there's not a lot we can do about them. Most of those people are not your traditional homeless folks that are trying to get money for food. They're actual professional solicitors, and it's how they make a living, and they bring their kids with them to elicit sympathy. Oh man. I'm gonna go around here and see if this guy on the motorcycle he just cut up over the curb and drove down the sidewalk, and I think he's parking on the sidewalk, which you can't do, so I'm gonna just check him here. So I am going to
One 638 Captain North C staff regarding disorderly 1671 University. Just looks to where 184 Captain North checking area until 17. I've been followed for check with PIC mail 1622. Sherwood Avenue for a residential alarm covering the door window sensor. 386. You can send me a pending. And 388, appeal assist for an assault at Central Mex Supermercado at 816 7th Street East. A male attempted to hit caller and her mother while crossing the street. He was in a blue Chevy sitting on an unlicensed plate, and he's still outside of the store. It's going to be a light-skinned black male in his 30s wearing a green jersey, green hat, no weapons.
321, you can cancel 388.
Copy 388, you can stay clear.
All right. So
628.
he says his motorcycle broke down
374.
on the street, and
374.
so he pulled it up here
Copy, plus one. We'll be saying
in the hopes that if he parked it for a while, it would
Copy at 1628.
start running again or something. I'm just gonna run him here. He was being very nice and polite, and then it quickly he quickly kind of started being smart, but I talked to him.
New message.
More person on Sandra. 1629.
Huh, weird. He's not running away from me, he's just pulling it down off the sidewalk, I think. So he actually pulled it over closer to me.
Copy, Mail at Thomas and Greg, 1630.
New message. New message.
There we go.
New message.
Alright.
New message.
Alrighty.
Alright. What up, big bro?
I just don't want to see it probably just start itself back up. It just seems like it's dramatic. It counts down. His dad out in the street now it's coming up. But like I said, I ain't mean no disrespect, so I apologize.
No problem. That's a good one. Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to drive around those things.
Yeah.
Alright. I just gave him a little advice on not parking on the sidewalk, but he knew. He had already moved it off the sidewalk, so. This is a very busy little intersection here. This Wendy's lot. We get a lot of drug dealing and drug users, etc. here. So.
Copy 369, you can clear.
Anyway, I just I'm not gonna write him a ticket for something because his motorcycle broke down and came up on the sidewalk, and which actually was probably the smartest thing to do at this intersection. Otherwise, you're gonna be blocking traffic or getting run into. So, and he was a nice guy. So that beep that you hear keep going off, that's the beep that reminds me that my lights are on. Oh, some poor girl on the light rail platform there that was obviously under the influence of narcotics. It's sad to see what happens. We as a society have to figure out how to stop the flow of fentanyl into our country, because it's really destroying lives and killing people. So we're eastbound now on University. We just left the Dale area and we're coming up to Marion. And you can probably see the state capitol up ahead of us. I think we arguably have one of the most beautiful state capitals in the country. At least the ones I've been to or seen.
Meet your caller at 2501 London Lane, permit 239 for a domestic that occurred on Saturday night at night.
Tango, on scene.
1635.
We're on Rice Street right now by Charles. And we're going to head north, I think. For just a second to check some stuff here, just to make sure I know what else going on. I don't like getting texts about stuff and then not being able to deal with it. So just got a text with some intelligence from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, that's our statewide investigative team. They have statewide jurisdiction and also investigate
on the top level of the parking garage.
officer-involved shootings and some murders and stuff statewide. They're in the outstate areas, I should say, for the smaller communities that don't have their own homicide unit or experienced investigators. They do a great job. They do a lot of training also. So, and they've really bolstered their intelligence unit, their crime analysts, and they put out some good info that's helpful.
Medic's asking, you respond to that medical diabetic educated.
I should mention also they process our a lot of their lab processes our DNA, fingerprints, and a lot of other stuff. They do a lot of investigative support and definitely forensic support. So our firearms processing and entering guns and shell casings into the national databases that tie them to other incidents. So we spend a lot of time working with them. I think if I was on a motorcycle right now, I'd be trying to head somewhere where there was a garage or an overhang, because
50 spots clear for.
See what's going on.
Copy.
225.
Go ahead.
Code 4. Kennedy address to 175 Charles.
Yeah. Copy. Your vehicle and car request.
I see the weather's just missing Anoka. Thanks, Robin. Continue north here on Rice Street. We're approaching Wheelock Parkway, and we'll head up here a little further.
Is it 5?
5.
Copy.
So we're at Rice and Larpenter. This area has
Culture 1700.
changed. It used to be a little more,
234.
I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, challenged area.
236.
But you now have some new businesses here. It's
251.
been
Full and half fuel key. Just have to be here till 2200.
Copy. 251.
the street's been expanded and they've done a little more landscaping.
Anybody else for you?
But this is where we go from St. Paul into the city of Maplewood on the right and the city of Roseville on the left. So we are driving right through the middle. They're both still in Ramsey County. And on the left up here is a Ramsey County Park, Lake McCarran's.
256.
Sorry, did you copy MULG?
I did have a good night.
It's one of the many parks that our water patrol has responsibility for.
Happy welfare check at 1204 East 7th Apartment 1. For caller says that she's concerned of the children in that address. Checking right now. Hold on. Both says that you just check your laptop for the comments and anything from it. Copy. Each spot for EOT 5333.
going to cross over now across Highway 36, and once we get up here,
We'll be almost at Mail. It's going to be on the overpass just over 35 million. Or 35 feet.
I'm going to take a right, but we would be going into the city of Little Canada up here on the right, and still the city of Roseville on the left. But I'm going to get on the highway, go.
43rd Street on a dangerous condition. There's a vehicle driving quickly up and down the street.
See what's happening down here on the highway, if people are behaving, and maybe head over into Maplewood for a little bit.
We're code 4. Medics and 45 minutes.
Why back to the dispatch? Pretty good. Single attack.
Yeah, it's 24457.
Kind of assist 387 for Taco for 30 alarm at 1998 for an after scenic close laundry for an occupant solution. Happy for 6 more inches.
So we're eastbound on Highway 36, heading into the city of Maplewood. And for those of you who are familiar with the area, we have Keller Lake up here. And Lake Jarvis as well.
135.
You log me off quick.
We're gonna head up here and then go over to we're gonna go to White Bear Avenue, I think, and then we'll go north. They tend to have some issues because of the mall there in the afternoon. Kids come around. I'll tell you, it drives me nuts when it's this slow, so there's not much I can show you, but you know, I'd rather have no crime and not have a lot to show you rather than people being victimized. So it's a mixed bag.
5825.
JC,
Eight plus coming.
I saw the new Twisters movie last night, and I can tell you, I don't know if the sheriff's seen it yet. He's a big movie guy, but he's gonna like the fact that one of the groups drives Durango SRTs in the movie, and they get a lot of good what's the word I'm looking for, screen time for the white Durangos that are in there, and so he's gonna like that. Maybe he'll order a white Durango instead of his normal gray Durango. But I liked it. It was entertaining. Of course, I saw the first movie. This is different. It's a little more geared, I think, towards younger audience, but which, of course, that's probably almost everybody except me. But but it was good. It was exciting. But I have a question. So I'm in a movie theater. I get there. The show's about to start. I'm the only person in the whole theater. I sit up towards the middle, in a middle seat. And then 6 young
236.
girls, probably 16 to 18, all came in. And they sat right in the row in front of me. I mean, I don't know theater etiquette, but I just thought that was weird that they came in and sat in front of me. So I kept asking myself, why would they sit there and not just somewhere away? And the only thing that made me feel better was, I think they just saw me and thought, hey, I could watch their back while they're watching the movie. They don't have to worry about some young boys harassing them or something. But I just thought it was weird. Of all the places to sit, they walked in and sat right in front of me.
5753. Coming.
So we're northbound on White Bear Avenue now. Hopefully we won't see any twisters, but if there is one, I will make sure I capture it on camera for you.
First order investigate St. Albans and Eagle Hard will be conformed.
We do have the, and I can't remember his name, but the meteorologist, somebody hopefully can post a link to his feed, the meteorologist, storm chaser that we've met with, that's met us up here a couple times and chases the tornadoes down south. Maybe he's doing it right now, but super nice guy. We met him one day up here in Maplewood because he pulled into the Hy-Vee gas station up here where Bob and Pat were. Brandon Kopic, C-O-P-P-I-C. Thank you, Nathan. Brandon Kopic, C-O-P-P-I-C, is the guy that we met. Great guy. Has some awesome video of storms that he has posted before. And
380.
You get a hold of her confident, see if she still wants to be seen, no matter door, and no one's answering.
I highly recommend going to his site and subscribing to him. I think it's subscribing on YouTube.
Caller just called back saying there's an officer outside of her permanent. She's wondering if it's for her.
Yes, it is.
Happy will let her know. Okay.
We're at White Bear Avenue and Beam Avenue in the city of Maplewood, just on the southeast side of the Maplewood Mall. I thought I heard all the Red Lobsters were closing down, but this one looks like it's open. Oh, you know what? Because of where I got on to White Bear, I didn't drive by my little friend's house that always come out and wave at me. If you're watching, I apologize. I just took a different route to get over here. So consider this a wave right now. I know it's summer, so you're not in school. These girls in this car that were beside me looked over and gave me a dirty look, like, oh, look, that old man's talking to himself in that truck.
Right, 1060 and first.
Little do they know I'm not just talking to myself, I'm talking about thousands of backseaters.
But I copy north to south, 471 Metro, unit 207. Thank you.
Check a couple spots up here where we recover a lot of stolens, although lately it hasn't been as many.
239 and there's no one coming to the door.
Happy we will verify. Go ahead.
Advise, they got PPD at Temple Theater.
Temple Theater, 1700. Your contact gone down to the lobby to meet with you, but she's coming back up to her apartment now.
Just running some plates now.
1700.
New message. New message.
370.
370.
Oh, sorry. For the AMA from 01.
Copy, can I get a squad to assist for DOA at 1891 Garden Way, and then Sergeant to copy?
376.
.306, I copy. And 376, I copy as well at initial 1.
Alrighty.
One at 4. 143 Snelling Avenue North under PCN. Callers stolen 12 bags sticking to the area. They're waiting in the Savoy lot in a silver Lexus sedan.
Wait for copy.
1702. You're clear.
Thank you.
1702.
So we're just driving through this townhome complex and not seeing any thing that looks stolen that I haven't already run the plate on, so that's positive.
One 65. Highland Parkway Snelling to recover a backpack with electronics and personal items. Caller found. He left it at the Parkway Clinic.
So we're driving eastbound on on County Road D, County Road D, past the north side of the Maplewood Mall.
380. It's gonna be apartment 329.
We're just driving through the lot here on the Emerald Inn. It's a spot where we often get suspicious activity, stolen vehicles, etc.
$3,900. Can show me clear report and thank you to me, please. For you, area.
So I'm driving. I see some discussion about what I'm driving. I'm driving a Ford F-150, a 2024 police package. It's got a little tighter suspension and faster engine. Or I don't know if it's a bigger engine or just a faster engine. It's got all the bells and whistles, lights, sirens, you name it. And I got a computer in here so that I can monitor what's going on. And it's got a big back seat, which is good because there's a lot of back seaters that sit in there.
What?
Can I get case number, please?
134258.
The sky's definitely looking darker kind of to the north, but I can't tell which direction it's moving. So
53,
be prepared. We're going to get on Interstate 694 going westbound.
24-1, Fairview, sir. 2 left hands, 2 tires. Picture.
8 left coming. 362, area.
Very fine. 321. We'll take the next one on Monday. Copy at 2181 and take for next week.
Get back to the suspicious heads here.
So I'm going to head over here more towards where contract cities are that we patrol. And then I will hop back off the highway. But it looks like the storm may be moving northeast, so it may miss us. So maybe we won't get the rain that the grass needs. So as we go westbound here, I know some of you are new and probably don't know what my role is at the sheriff's office, but I'm an undersheriff. There's the sheriff, the elected sheriff is Bob Fletcher, and then he has a chief deputy, Dave Methuselah, who oversees the day-to-day operations of the sheriff's office, and basically make sure everything runs. And then there are 5 undersheriffs who oversee different parts of the department. There's an administrative undersheriff, an undersheriff over the jail, an undersheriff over
Keep looking out on our
courts
600
and transports. There's an undersheriff over, I'm missing here, patrol, I think I said. And I'm the undersheriff over what's called regional services and apprehension. So all of the units that are countywide that aren't patrolled, that I have the carjacking and auto theft team, or CAT team. I have intelligence. I have the violent crime enforcement team, and our East Metro Real-Time Information Center, which puts info out in real time to the squads on the street. And I also assist with the SWAT team. Now I oversaw the SWAT team and our mobile response team, but Under Sheriff Phil Babenroth, that's who I was forgetting, who oversees our training and special operations. He is now transitioning into being in charge of all that stuff. So, and I still help him when I can, or if he's out of town. So really my main job is to oversee the units that are doing proactive police work for the sheriff's office. And I love doing it. It allows me to go out and patrol and do stuff on the street, as well as, oversee, major investigations, and, I still have to go to meetings and do all that stuff, administrative work, but I probably get to go out and do police work a little more. So, but prior to the sheriff's office, I've been here for about 6 years, since Sheriff Fletcher was reelected. Prior to that, I worked a brief time for the University of Minnesota Emergency Management. I was the assistant director. And before that, I did 25 years with the Minneapolis Police Department. And pretty much did all kinds of stuff there. We are north on Rice Street, and we are in the city of Shoreview.
Minnesota license, Golf Sierra Echo 826 Ray.
A lot of construction going on here. So, since we're kind of stuck in traffic, so I started like everyone else as a patrol officer at Minneapolis, and then shortly afterwards got assigned to what was called a high crime speed.
The neighbor who picked a fight with the cop and spit at them. So White Mountain and Greg were in a blue bandana, sleeveless shirt.
Our job was to go into whatever were the most problematic areas, drug dealing, murder, shootings, prostitution, whatever it was, and go there and work with the neighbors to solve those issues. And in the process, I learned that a lot of the violence we were having was gang related, so I started investigating gangs and documenting intelligence and sending it down to our intel unit, which at the time didn't have a gang unit, but had one guy who was focusing on gang intelligence. And then I was recruited to come down when they started a full-time gang unit. I worked there as an officer for 3 years, and then got promoted to sergeant, and was fortunate enough to stay in the gang unit as a sergeant and supervise 10 officers that patrolled and did investigations, and then was promoted to lieutenant and worked in the Phillips neighborhood of Minneapolis, and then
Highway 36 at Target for 10 teenagers, both males and females in the front entrance, threatening to be trouble. One subject had an AR type gun with orange tip on it. The black male wearing an orange mask, blue jeans, shirt and face.
Then I was promoted to lieutenant, went down there, was responsible for the area. It used to be called the Phillips neighborhood, but then it broke into 4 neighborhoods. Then after a few years, I was promoted to captain and oversaw all the downtown centralized units there, and then was loaned as a Metro Commander for the Minnesota Gang Strike Force for a couple years, and then went back to Minneapolis and was involved with investigating the 35W bridge collapse and overseeing the crime scene and access to that, and working with the NTSB to get them what they needed, and then was promoted to inspector, and I oversaw the Northside precinct for 5 years, and then we got a new chief, and she unappointed me as the Northside commander, and I went back to being a captain, and then they eliminated the captain's rank, and I decided it was time to retire. And I could see the direction the police department was going in, which was not a good direction, and unfortunately I was right, and the poor cops that were left over there went through some real difficult times and lacked good leadership, and but I feel very fortunate now to be back in an agency with an awesome sheriff and great leadership that really cares about the community and doing what's right. So here I am over in Ramsey County following a garbage truck. So I've been extremely fortunate in my career with some of the stuff I've been able to do, and I consider it a blessing to be in the situation I am, and I've been able to travel the country and in Canada teaching police officers mainly about gang intelligence, gang investigations, gang suppression, and also how to intervene to get kids out of gangs. So, and I met my lovely wife when I was at Minneapolis PD. We've been married now for 25 and a half years, and couldn't be luckier. I didn't say she was also a Minneapolis cop, so. Well, it's now raining, and the radio is quiet, so I think I'm going to call it a day. It sounds like we may be out on Wednesday. That there may be a little bit of a different schedule, and if I get a chance, I'll be out on Wednesday. So, thank you. Thanks for watching, and I appreciate it.